Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Once upon a time, in a vast kingdom overshadowed by towering mountains, there was a beautiful queen who wished for a child with skin as white as snow, lips as red as blood, and hair as black as ebony. Her wish was granted, and she named the child Snow White. However, fate was cruel, and the queen passed away shortly after giving birth. The king, drowned in sorrow, remarried a woman known for her beauty. Snow White's stepmother, the new queen, was very mean. She hated anyone who was more beautiful than her. She possessed a magical mirror which she would ask every morning, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest one of them all?" Every day the mirror had the same reply, "You are the fairest, my queen." This pleased the queen greatly. As years passed, Snow White grew into a young woman of unmatched beauty. One morning the queen went to her mirror and asked, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest one of them all?" The mirror replied, "Snow White." "My queen, Snow White is the fairest of them all." "What?" yelled the queen. "No one is fairer than I. The queen must have the best of everything. Everyone knows that. What could be fairer than that?" "Snow White is the fairest of them all," repeated the magic mirror. This drove the queen into a jealous rage, and she stormed off. Still, the queen was bothered. So bothered that she decided to get rid of Snow White, once and for all. "I cannot wait another day," she declared. The queen called for her servant, a huntsman. "Find a reason to take Snow White deep into the woods," she said, pointing her long finger at the servant. "Then kill her and bring me her heart as proof." However, the huntsman, taken by Snow White's innocence, couldn't harm her. He let her go with a warning, never to return. Lost and frightened, Snow White ran deeper into the forest until she stumbled upon a quaint little cottage. Exhausted, she entered and found it belonged to 7 dwarfs: Doc, Grumpy, Happy, Sleepy, Bashful, Sneezy, and Dopey. The dwarfs, initially alarmed by the intruder, quickly grew fond of Snow White. In exchange for shelter, she offered to cook, clean, and care for their home. Meanwhile, the huntsman deceived the queen with a pig's heart, but the mirror revealed the truth about Snow White's survival. Infuriated, the queen tried various schemes to kill Snow White: a corset that constricted too tightly, a poisoned comb, and finally, a poisoned apple. Each time, with the help of the dwarfs and her growing understanding of the forest's secrets, Snow White survived. One day, a prince from a neighboring kingdom rode through the forest and was drawn to the dwarf's cottage by Snow White's enchanting voice. The two met and felt an instant connection. They spent days getting to know each other, with the prince being enchanted by Snow White's beauty and her tales of adventure. However, the queen discovered their budding relationship and saw an opportunity. She disguised herself as an old peddler and offered Snow White a poisoned apple. Snow White, despite being cautious, took a bite and fell into a deep sleep. The dwarfs, devastated, placed her in a glass coffin in the forest. The prince, hearing of her fate, visited and placed a farewell kiss on her lips. Miraculously, the kiss broke the spell, and Snow White awoke. The evil queen's deeds were exposed, and she met a grim end. The kingdom celebrated Snow White's revival. The prince and Snow White, deeply in love, united their kingdoms and ruled with wisdom and compassion. The dwarfs returned to their peaceful lives in the cottage, but Snow White often visited, reminiscing about the adventures they had and the secrets of the forest they had uncovered together. And so, in a land where magic and love intertwined, they all lived happily ever after. Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.